Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Awesome Sunday Show. Connor back again.
Right here too.
And Pat, we have very special guests with us today.
Yeah, we do. One of them has actually been on the show before.
He was talking about Pokemon.
He was talking about Pokemon. He wrote the music that we use on the show and on the Couch Review.
Yeah, it's a very, very good songwriter because the Couch Review is intricate and but it's actually what I requested. It's really good. And so without further ado, why don't we have our guests introduce themselves.
Hey, I'm Anthony Dentino. I was the one on here before.
Yeah.
And you guys broke the order already.
Sorry, yeah.
Before we started, we're like, very specific order. Actually, we didn't say that. They did, and now I don't know if they're following it.
Alright, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll do it live.
Anyway.
Do it live. I'm Kevin. I'm the vocalist for Poeta and guitarist.
I am Sean. I play bass in the band and do everything else as well.
And then you have one member who's not here.
Yeah, George, our drummer, he couldn't make it tonight. He works night shifts, so this was actually not a good time for him. But, hopefully we'll see him at some point.
All right.
Yeah, we got the majority of the band at least.
He's here in spirit.
Yeah.
And you guys are Poeta.
Yes.
It's good to know. That's it.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you said that already, or, I wasn't sure, so...
Yeah, they're Poeta because they haven't said that. But, Kevin and Dentino actually were in a band a few years ago together that you might remember called Call Me Bear. Call Me King.
You guys are pretty tight, and you're tight now. I think you're tighter now than you were back then.
Thank you.
Also, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
You were 15, Kevin, or something?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think that's actually when I first met you. Was that
That's the first
mansion
time
show?
I ever met him.
Yeah. Or the Mansion show?
I met him before that. Whatever. Yeah. I remember the Mansion show, though. That was good.
Yeah, we all went out to Applebee's after that.
We did go to Applebee's. That was fun.
There's no way the servers did not spit in our food.
It was
like
20 of us.
Yeah.
Applebee's.
It was all
kids
kids that are just so annoying and barking orders. Dude, that waitress definitely was like, "Oh, you want another water?" And flush the toilet and put the cup in the
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
That's great.
Guys, so you're here to promote. You guys got an album coming out. You just released a single. Why don't you guys talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we just released a single. It's called Vulpix.
Great title.
Which one of you picked the name? I'm going to lean towards Dentino.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I picked the name for that. And I think I wrote it as a demo and sent it over to them called Vulpix. And we ended up writing the final one together. But we were coming up with names for it after the lyrics were done. And I think I was pretty adamant about keeping the name Vulpix. And Sean was like, I don't want to get sued by Nintendo.
Sure
that's actually a legitimate concern.
It's legal.
Yeah.
It's legal.
But we have a backup plan in case we do.
Yeah,
It's multiple Vulpix.
Why did you pick Vulpix out of all?
The song really just threw a Vulpix vibe. It was just I think of all songs and writing in colors all the time. So Vulpix is red. It's the Firestone. It's you think of Happy, you think of Vulpix. It's a pretty positive Pokemon. Yeah. And it's one of my favorites probably now after everything. Without a doubt, Vulpix Ninetales is my favorite Pokemon.
You know, it's pretty funny. I just realized this now. As soon as Brock gets Vulpix...
I was just about to say that.
He kind of, goes towards the direction, his calling in life and becomes, a Pokemon breeder. And this whole song is talking about following your dreams.
Yeah.
It's insane. I just realized
Wow, that is a great
I was
connection.
just thinking that. As soon as you're Brock, I was like, he's about to say what I just thought.
That's awesome.
Wow. That just...
See how it
blew my
works?
mind. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But the single is available for free download, right?
Yeah, at our website at poeta.us. And, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. And we also have an album that we're working on now. We're not exactly 100% sure on the title yet, but we're hoping to get that out probably around early summer, right?
Yeah, hopefully
Probably late spring.
hopefully it'll be finished mixed by June. I would be I'm positive it will be.
You should just call the album Luxray.
Luxray is pretty sweet, but it might not fit our feels for the
Yeah.
album. So it's got to be a pretty sweet Pokemon to take up a whole album.
Wobbuffet.
Nah, that would be you.
Bidoof.
Yeah, Bidoof. Perfect.
There you go,
Perfect.
Bidoof.
Definitely Bidoof. Yeah. Oddish.
The like greatest. I would pick Bidoof over Oddish.
Oddish is
opinion.
part dragon though, so
Just creeps me out, man.
Yeah.
Weird looking.
What's that one like chandelier Pokemon?
Chandelier.
Chandelure.
Chandelure.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than the garbage Pokemon. That's literally a pile of garbage.
Yeah. That's Sean.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Great
It's all out
band.
of love. It's
Yeah.
all out of love.
I'm quitting the band. I'd like to announce that.
It's the 41th time he's quit.
Yeah.
41st, I think.
Yeah, I'm
This is
shocked
the-
you guys are really George is really keeping track of that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
He quit today. He quit at like 11 a.m.
I can't remember the reason.
You start a band like who left Taking Back Sunday to start brand new?
Wasn't
Jesse Lacey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like seeing that. It's like
Have you replaced him with Jimmy Delattre yet?
No, we're not gonna do that.
Not again.
No,
Which like he did for Where's
that was just
and
Call Me King.
Call Me
Yeah,
King.
That was a minute
He wasn't Call Me King?
for like 4 days.
Was I in the band?
I don't remember.
Because I'm pretty sure that didn't happen.
I don't think I talked to you guys about it.
Yeah.
I think it happened for 4 days.
Oh, like without us
I
practicing?
think it
and,
was
you
like
never showed up to
JT, like we don't have a bassist or something. Gruno left and came back. Oh, it was between Gruno and Cody.
practice? Oh, okay.
And I met Cody and I was like, I like that kid like way more.
Did you guys?
Yeah, I don't think I met Jimmy.
Did you guys kiss?
We made out a few times. Yeah.
touch tips.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
you gotta do it right. So why don't you guys like describe your sound so far? I mean, at least for the single, and then what the overall feel you're going for.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I guess there's like a lot of influences from everything. Like, I know I particularly like a lot of pop music. I also like a lot of folk music. I go anywhere between heavy metal, alternative, some rap. So like, there's a lot of strong influences of like pop in the vocals for that song in particular too. I know Sean has a lot of different influences. You know, Dentino. We all come from different spectrums of like music, and it blends really well when we're writing. And so, for the feel of the album, though, it's very sincere. There's just a lot of emotion behind it. We went through a lot this past year as a band, writing and trying to figure out our identity. And we did a lot of soul searching, and I guess a lot of that came out onto the album. So, I mean, I guess you guys are going to have to wait and hear it and decide for yourselves. Maybe you can piece together certain things and stuff like that. But we're really excited about the way it's coming out.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the single came out great, so I'm sure the album
Thank
is
you.
going to.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
everything
love the song.
Dentino touches is gold. So.
Yeah, that's why, like, you know.
Appreciate that. Thank
That's why we
you.
have him in the band.
It was a business decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to get ahead.
You gotta sacrifice the art.
Yeah, I didn't even want to. I didn't want to be in a band ever again after my last band. It was just such like a. It was the band Throwbacks. It was just such like a roller coaster every day for writing, and you feel like people don't feel things the same way that you feel all the time. So like when Kevin originally approached me, I was like, oh man, like I don't want to go do all that again. But I was like, all right, I'll come jam. And I came and jammed, and I met Sean and George for the first time, and they were just such characters. I was like, I can't never see Sean again, which was like funny now because I never want to see Sean ever.
Was Sean the guy in your one Snapchat video where he had the
Yeah,
jacket over
the
his-
pterodactyl.
Dude, I like replayed that right away, and I was like, "This is like I don't know who this is, but he's amazing." It's like,
Yeah.
Things get stressful, and that's how I deal with it sometimes. Pterodactyl. And
It's alright, pterodactyls are pretty sweet.
I love pterodactyls, dude. Like top 5 dinosaurs.
They actually scare the hell out of me
Yeah,
if you
dude.
think about it. Like,
You're just afraid of, like, what happened in Jurassic World to Bryce Dallas Howard's assistant's gonna happen. Swoop you up
Yeah.
and drop you into the fucking whatever that massive,
either that or like in Jurassic
whale.
Park 3 when the guy breaks into like the whole like bird cage pretty
Oh,
much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just
William
getting
H. Macy, right?
torn apart.
Oh no, that
the
wasn't
whole time.
William H. Macy. Who gets torn apart?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I
It
really,
was
A
like
bunch of
the
people did.
Doctor's like.
I mean that the
assistant,
characters in the movie were just forgettable as the movie.
yeah, exactly. It
I
wasn't
don't know
like
what
a
you're
great
talking about. That was a good sequel. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, so the song Vulpix, it sounds incredible. I'm excited for the rest. The other song Happy too, actually, I think sounds really good. The acoustic.
We
version,
actually sent you that. Do you mean the electric version or the acoustic version?
I have both.
Okay, the electric version's a song we're actually not gonna continue with.
Oh really?
Yeah, just to throw that out there. Yeah, you got a sneak preview. No one else is probably ever gonna hear that. So
I'm gonna keep on to it.
that's gonna be worth like $1 million. It's probably worth like $1 million right now.
Yeah.
Doll hairs or
Doll hairs.
Yeah. Doll hairs.
Yeah, not money, not actual currency.
Yeah, but it sounds great.
Thank you.
I do like the song a lot. I remember when you first showed me the song, I was like, "Can I have that?"
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
But no, especially like your voice is very unique in the song too. I like
Thank
it.
you. Thank you very much.
I was trying, like when I listened to it, I try to compare. I'm like, he sounds like this. I was like this. Like you know what? Like while there's definitely like influence from other artists, like it definitely is your own thing as well. You know, like George Lucas took a lot of ideas for Star Wars, but he blended it together as more of an influence, not as, you know, and it's still his. Well, not anymore, but
I love the fact that my voice just got compared to George Lucas in Star Wars. That is
before the prequels, George Lucas.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and Vulpix can't evolve, so you can't have a prequel to Vulpix. So
Truth.
Yeah,
Good
there you
point.
you can only progress.
You can only progress. Yeah. So maybe he'll be a Ninetales one day.
Yeah.
But the album,
Yeah.
I think he evolves a lot on so far. So it'd be cool. But yeah, it's been a wild ride for sure. Last year we've been a band for a year and a half and just released the music like I guess a week and a half
Something
ago.
like that,
Yeah, we've had that
within the last 2
6
weeks.
or 7
Yeah,
months.
and we recorded the song last July, I think, or August.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was in July.
Oh wow.
And yeah, we've probably written like all together maybe like 10 or 11 full songs, and then maybe 12. I don't know, and then just trashed them all, rewritten songs so many times to the point where our drummer just
He had a meltdown.
hates it. Like,
Yeah, he had a meltdown. He was like, "What do you mean? This song is perfect."
I get where he's coming from, though. I mean, it was definitely frustrating because, like, we went to the studio, we recorded everything, and it's like, all right, we're going to be releasing soon. And then it's like, maybe we should work on the songs.
never
a bit.
gets
Yeah.
released.
And I think that
yeah.
was the smartest
Yeah,
decision we've
'cause-
ever made as a band.
Definitely sounds a lot better.
It's fun. Yeah.
As far as shows going, are you guys waiting to finish the album first before you start?
Yeah, we
doing
definitely
something?
want people to have, some material in their hands, so that way they're not kind of just like, I don't really care about this band. This
Yeah.
band's just playing a show, and I have no idea who they are and like what they sound like, and we only have like one single. So I mean, we want people to hear it, and if they like it enough, we want to, we want them to appreciate it enough to come out and like see us instead of us having to like force or buy our own tickets.
Right.
Yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know, we haven't really talked too much about shows. We've been so preoccupied with everything else. Like, we take things so slow, but at the same time, like, we work our asses off with every aspect of it. Like, we're not like, all right, we got to work on this week and then move on. It's like, we're not moving on till we figure that out. And once we got that down as a foundation, so it's like, once things, exponentially grow, they'll grow the right way.
Yeah.
Our foundation, this is the first time I've been in a band that like our foundation is strong, that the lyrics actually have like an intense meaning. And it's the first time I've ever been in a band where, I haven't been the one showing people. I've just been talking about it and people have been like, yo, can I hear that? And every single time I've showed a friend or somebody a piece of the music, they've always been like, yo, can you send me that? Because it hasn't been out yet. And that's what I really like. Like, so many people have been like, send me that, instead of me being like, yo, check this out.
Can you send me that song that's now?
I can.
See the light of the day?
Yeah.
I'd
I can.
appreciate that.
Sure.
No, yeah, and like it shows. I mean, yeah, art is a hard thing to measure, but effort isn't. And the effort shows definitely.
Thank you.
Like the work and everything. Like it sounds like the mix and the mastering and everything sounds legitimate. It's like I would, like if I didn't know who you guys were, and I was in someone's car and they pop in a CD. If they put on their phone or their iPod, and back in the day, there's this thing called CDs.
Right.
8
For that
tracks.
Yeah. Sometimes you can go to the video store and rent one with your tape. So someone would put on their iPod, and like if you guys came on, I'd be like, oh, like I would think I was about to say buy the music too. Yeah. Wow.
People do that.
Hopefully somebody does it.
Yeah. I mean, I still buy
right.
music, but everyone at Best Buy makes fun of me. But I would think someone legitimately bought that from a Best Buy or a Walmart. Like, who are these guys? It sounds really well. It sounds like you guys sound like you guys sound professional, and it sounds professionally done too.
Great, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
shout out to
Definitely have
Bruce.
Bruce to thank.
Oh yeah, we'd like to thank Bruce Wagner from Overlook
He's
Studios,
Literally
Pennsylvania.
almost like a fifth member of the band.
Yeah, we
He's
couldn't do it without
the
that.
Fifth Beatle.
Yeah.
he's a great guy, and this dude, it's taken. I feel like it's taken like 5 years off my life just like trying to keep with this band like together. But at the same time, it's also been like the best outlet. Like there's times where I'm like, damn, like where would I be without this? And we really haven't done anything out as a band to the public yet.
Right.
And the fact that we've done so much to ourselves and creating this is really like, it's special to me. It's already, without anyone else seeing it in the world, it really still has like such a big part of my life.
Yeah, and I mean, to have like that sort of feeling obviously shows that like you got something really good here. And you know, the
I think
single
so.
is proof. Like the single came out excellently.
Thank you.
Like Connor said, and that lyric video is actually really cool too.
That
you
was
know,
a battle
yeah,
itself.
Oh yeah, that took a bit to get.
like most lyric videos are kind of just like bland and like made in like PowerPoint or something, but that one's actually really sweet.
Thank you.
Oh,
The way
dude,
they did it, and it's different, and it like fits the song, fits the tone, fits. It
Right.
exactly.
It's like you actually went to like a movie editor program, like not PowerPoint, and like it was professionally done. Like again, it's you can measure effort, and so far everything's. If I was Justin and I was to teacher, I'd be like, oh cool, hey boss. You know?
Thank you so much.
Awesome, man.
Thanks.
Thank
Yeah,
That's
without his side activities.
Yeah, which we won't say.
No, we can't say on this.
Don't ever talk to us again.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
He
there's
would get
just
so mad.
there's like so much, just like emotion behind it. Like, I don't know. For me, a big thing is I feel like I don't want to get too into like that whole side of things, but like I just feel like the world's a scary place, and a lot of people are kind of starting to lose their way, and even if it's like by the smallest percentage, I really just want to help people. I want them to like feel again, not be afraid to feel. At least I just want them to know that they're not alone in whatever they're facing. That there's other people with them that are struggling through the same things, and it's just I just want to help people. That's all I want to do. It's not about like getting big. It's not about like getting famous and getting all big on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's just a bonus.
Getting laid every night.
I mean, for me, it's never been about that. So for me, it's always been about like just making people feel again, like whether it's happy or if they can just let loose of their emotions, because it's too hard for them to like cry about something or whatever it may be. I just think people need to like be happy.
Yeah, and it's I mean, the outlet you're using is good because like music is definitely like can have a very positive and like cathartic influence on people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you always hear about artists saying like these people come up to me said, oh, I saved like my music saved their life.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or it made me like get out of this funk or depression or whatever. And I mean, you got really positive lyrics, and like that's a really great foundation to write great lyrics.
Yeah.
Because you know what you want to write, you know how you want to make people feel, and then you just put that into words, you put that into your vocals, and then all the instruments.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I don't know, like what you just said. Like somebody did actually come up to me. I was in a band before, very briefly, Evergreen Avidity, and we had a single out called "Death of the Navigator." And somebody had come up to me, and they were just in a really dark part of their life, and I guess they were trying to turn it around. And they told me like they just listened to that song every day. It was like on their morning playlist, and it really helped them through whatever they were getting through, and that was the best feeling for me. No amount of money or fame could ever give me that feeling. That's something that I'll carry with me forever. So.
Like I can't imagine like that's got to feel like excellent, like as an artist for something like that, something that positive to come out of like one thing you did. Like
and to not even think about it like that, and then for it to just happen, just really was eye opening, and it just really because it was a battle. I was battling between going to school or like really focusing on this band, and that was like a big tipping point for me. So
And like, especially like the lyrics themselves, just going back on that just a little bit, like a lot of songs that come out today. I mean, while like the music itself isn't terrible or anything like that, but the lyrics are, and I know this is an intense word, frivolous, but like with
whipping out that thesaurus there.
What's that?
Whipping out the thesaurus on that one.
Oh yeah, and from what I've listened by you guys, like there's nothing frivolous about what you write. Like you said, it's while the message while the message isn't new, you put a new spin on it, and like you put it from your heart. So like it's what makes it relatable. That's I think that's probably the biggest appeal of it is like how relatable it is, because it's like it's very, I can tell by the song it's personal. So
For sure.
people relate. That's how people relate. You know.
Yeah, it takes us so much to say like, all right, this is a song we're gonna use. It's like a lot of the songwriting starts with, I guess, one of us coming up with a riff or a lot of it, and we all put our own spin and our own aspect. We all bring that to the table, you know. So everybody's parts at the end of the day, like no matter who came up with the idea for it, we all decided on it, and then we all said, all right, we're gonna choose to use this part to express ourselves. So while I've had pretty much 0% of the lyric writing in this, I still feel like I've expressed myself the way I've had to.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like I consider myself a very socially awkward person compared to the norm of society, I guess. Like I just always feel like you know, like I'm doing something wrong or weird, but I feel like when people hear any of this stuff, like the amount of time or where my mind is, once they hear this, if they take the time, they're going to be like, oh, I get it. I understand why he's like that, because this is how he really is. And I think the rest of us feel a very similar way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as much as it is us wanting people to relate to us, we kind of almost want to relate to people
Right.
as well. You
Yes.
know, it's
Yeah.
like us reaching out to
Completely,
them in the same way that they're reaching out to us, and you know, so it's like a huge give and take. You know, and more than anything, we don't want to call them, like, when we do, you know, whoever listens to us and likes us, we don't want to call them fans. We want to create like this family atmosphere, because like we'll, you know, you just want to. It's almost like talking to them, having a conversation through like our songs, and then having them respond to that. And it's not like we're not going to listen and not going to hear or respond, you know. So, but yeah.
Yeah, you're like almost putting yourself out there to bring them in.
Yeah,
In a way.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, and that's a great way to. I shouldn't say look at it. That's a great way to practice it. And like I appreciate, like we said, it's like it's not about the money, it's not about this. It's just about, you know, like about the message and like relating to people, and like that's true artistry right there. Like Vincent Van Gogh never made a dime in his life, but he still kept making paintings. I hope you guys make a lot of money with this. I'm not,
Thank you.
don't ever cut off your ears.
Right, dude, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like the success is just like the side. It's like
Comes later.
a side effect, you know, or bonus or something. But that's not the goal. And that's a really good goal to have, because now, like, the thing is, people just want to make money fast. They don't give a shit how. You know, especially in music, a lot of people make some serious compromises just to get ahead.
It's pretty cool. Like we all balance each other out as far as that aspect goes. I'd say Kevin, he can speak for himself if he wants, but from what I noticed about him, he's just a very old school. This is how I feel. I want to just love and create the music, you know. And I come from like, you know, he wants to help people and reach people. I really just need something to say. I need to express myself. I need to get it out so I don't blow up. So I'm just writing whatever comes out of me. And then Sean's here to have like the best time of his life, and this is what he wants to do, and he's having
My first band ever.
Oh, that's cool.
He's loving it. And then George really wants to take it to the next level and push it, and you know, he wants to do everything he can. He's great at marketing us. So like, you know, it brings out a lot in us. We're all there. We all have the balance. You know, Kevin's got, you know, the authenticity of it. He's got the feeling to it. You know, and we all just bring something to the table that we couldn't do without each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Definitely makes for a better sound, better feel, and kinds of makes it, you know, feel more inclusive. Like not just for you guys, but it like the way it will affect people. You know, we gone on about the lyrics, but like even the instruments aside, like you could sense the passion. First of all, it came out great. Like you guys are all obviously very talented.
Thank you.
In each way. Like Dantino always puts up acoustic covers, and you know, if you ever heard any other guitar riffs he's written in any other band, you know he's really talented.
Thank you.
First time meeting Sean, but you could tell, you know, he's got the passion and he's fun, and like the drums are even great too. So while you're not, like you said, you haven't had like written any lyrics, you're still putting and contributing to the feel of the song.
Right.
I think.
That's what's most important for me. Right. As far as I don't think I can say things as much as I can make them sound.
Yeah, you're just putting out your feelings in a different way,
Right.
almost. But still, like, building on each other to make it one whole.
That's what we
piece
like.
of them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our dynamic, and I think we found one that works. And it took us a year and a half, around that time to finally find one. And we're experimenting and growing with it every time we work together. But I think we're in a good place. The album reflects the place we were in prior to that. It wasn't so good. We all had, some personal things going on. Really tough year for all of us. But I think we grew it together, and this year is about kicking ass, and this album's going to show that. So.
26. Wait, what is it? 2016? 2017?
26.
2001.
Yeah, all right.
2001 year for Poeta.
I just one thing I'm curious about is where'd you guys think of the name Poeta? Like, where'd that?
So I was on my way to grab some new equipment for my rig, and we were going to, what was it, West Orange?
West Orange, yeah.
Right?
Beautiful place. Got a vacation home there.
Really?
visit
I was
West
gonna
Orange
say,
anytime
like,
you can.
It was definitely in an area.
Yes, it was an area. But we passed by a graveyard, and I don't know why, but this tombstone just really stuck out to me, and the name was on it was Poeta, and I don't know, just kind of really stuck with me. I brought it up to the guys, and they seemed to like it, and we were kind of like, I don't know, I guess like not caring about the name as much
Yeah,
at that time.
It was
that?
I don't know.
Aristotle.
It was
Yeah, it
no.
was-
I thought it was the Sean Schumann Experience.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the Sean, and then we realized that's a terrible name.
Yeah.
And didn't
Yeah.
know
I
that.
don't know why we thought of that. Well, that was your idea.
It was, I came up with Sean.
You are from Jersey, so you have to have the first and last name and then the what band afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, right. But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much where we got it from, and I thought that was pretty like a cool spin on the word poet, or like the noun poet, and
Nouns are words.
yeah, I guess so, yeah. And I don't know, it just really stuck with me.
Yeah, we
Thought it
liked
fit
the
us
way
really
it
well,
sounded.
yeah.
Exactly. It fit us
like it.
for what we were doing. Liked the way it sounded. No band that we could find had the name yet. It was one word. It was simple.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It wasn't a verb, the noun, so that was nice.
When you release your album, you're not gonna have to change it to Poeta 182 because someone's gonna sue you.
Yeah,
you know?
thankfully. We might get sued for Pokemon still, but
Definitely, yeah.
No, yeah, that's a.
I'm looking
I do.
forward
I
to
like the name. That's why I
It
asked.
is a good name.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it doesn't. It's like it's easy to remember. You know.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and it's also, but also, there's like, I also felt like there was something behind it. Like, that's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
and I was right. There was something
I
behind
mean,
it.
yeah,
That's not how you got that is not how at all how I expected.
we
you
wish
would
there
have
was
said.
more.
Yeah,
but,
no,
but
it's
that's,
it's way
sometimes
like,
that's
I've
what
never
it
heard
is.
somebody say like a story like that inspired the name.
Yeah. Sometimes
it
it's
went
simple stuff
somewhere
like
that I
that.
wasn't
That means
expecting.
more.
yeah, for sure, man. So
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
very excited about everything that's upcoming, and we'll see how this year treats us.
Yeah. Well, so far you're starting off on a good foot. I think. From what I hear, like from what you guys are telling me, I'm excited to hear what you guys are putting out. I'll definitely be at your shows whenever they come around.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
rad to hear.
I'm looking forward to more singles, the album, and definitely for you guys to play shows. Especially seeing you, Kevin, and Dentino play shows like 100 times. Like you guys put in just as much effort as you're putting in the recording and the writing. You put that up on stage,
Thank you.
which is great.
We hope so.
And Sean, I'm sure you do the same.
Nah, I stand still the whole time.
It's all right. There are people who do that.
One thing I do like, because at least for me, like you, like the song and the writing can be good and everything like that, but like the drums for me is like if your band can only be as great as your drummer. Someone has told me back when I forget who told me that. I used to take bass lessons back in the day, and I actually had a bass teacher tell me that like your band, like if you ever want to start a band, you can only be as good as your drummer, and I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, he's carrying your
Definitely.
rhythm,
Yeah,
your
it's
tempo.
Yeah.
You gotta be on time with him.
And one thing I like, I never
dynamics.
met George, but one thing I like is sometimes like when I listen to a lot of punk music, and I love punk music, but a lot of it's shitty. Like it's just like I love bad horror movies too, but when you listen to a lot of drummers, it's a lot of like transition stuff like that. I like the way George writes it. I feel like when I listen to it, he takes his times with a lot of things. Like if you're about to go into like a chorus, it's not and then you go into it. It's very like he kind of just does a couple hits and it's timed well. And I feel like he has a lot of good timing with his beats.
Yeah, I feel like a big thing is with any musician, it's like sometimes you want to just kind of show how bombastic you can be and how like out forward you can be, it's cool that we can all kind of reel ourselves in and
Yeah.
like, you know, just
Subtlety
make
goes a long way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I mean, a lot of that falls on George, and he does a great job of handling that. You know, so
Yeah, it's definitely cool. He's always trying something new too. So
He is.
Right. Yeah. It's
So.
it's subtle, but like it's unique, and like
Mhm.
I feel like you guys all bring that to the table.
Thanks.
You know?
That's
Thank
right. He was a metal drummer for a while, so it's kind of weird.
I
like,
wouldn't know that.
It's kind of weird
Yeah.
bringing him into this style, whatever you would call us, I guess, and telling him like, you know, not having him do metal stuff. So every aspect, and you know, I came from a different area. I come from a totally different. They all do. We all come from different areas of music. So it's all about us working together and saying like, all right, as a group, we would like to, you know, not show off completely. All of us, we'd all like to just, you know, have a consensus of what we should play. So it's cool that we all have a part in each one of our writing styles. That George, even with all of us, he'll come to me and be like, "Yeah, I don't like that lead." You know, he doesn't play guitar, but he knows what doesn't sound good, so
Yeah.
I'll tone it down. We'll do the same with his drumming.
yeah, everyone has an
Yeah,
opinion.
everyone's got
it's
a part.
great too.
So,
because it's not like
Total
you know it's coming
consensus.
from a place where like it's like you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know? It's
exactly.
Like, everyone like has a
Everyone's
really
got it.
great handle on music. So
Exactly.
That's
Great.
So that's Poeta.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's I feel like we learned a lot about you guys, and like I said, and I'm sure, you know, the people that are listening definitely check you out, and you know, excited for the future for what you guys are gonna be releasing.
Thank you so much.
I'll put all their links in the description. I'm gonna put their single on at the end of the podcast to close it out, and then obviously like all their Twitters, Instagrams, and all the Poeta pages and stuff too. Definitely make sure you check that out, download it, fucking promote the shit out of them. And now one other thing that we were talking about before was Dragon Ball Z. You guys want to talk about that for a little bit?
There it is.
This is where it gets juicy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I
who
can
gives a shit about
probably-
Poeta? Now we're in
Real quick, I mean, because like since the only thing we really said like topic wise is Dragon Ball Z, this might be like a loaded question. So I don't know how you guys would want to start it. I'm just putting this out there. I was gonna say like, who's your favorite character and why?
Sure.
But if you guys have a thing you want to bring up, I know you're talking about Dragon Ball Super before.
Yeah, no,
Like-
let's do that. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like figuring
favorite
out what
characters.
everyone's like interest is in the
But
characters. You know?
Here's the thing: since you guys are the guests, and the tradition of the show is guests always go first.
Okay,
So
I'll go first.
Sean.
All right, so favorite character, definitely Vegeta. He's definitely, I think, one of the more beautifully written characters. Like, just for the fact that like you're meant to be this top dog, and then like you know you're the prince of all Saiyans, and then you know you have this like weak, low class warrior named Goku, and he comes down, whoops your ass, and then you know the whole entire time I love just Vegeta's progression from like that like anti-hero into the hero now he is. So definitely a favorite character, and then Krillin's a close second. I love Krillin.
Krillin's a great character.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
so cool.
he's definitely the strongest human.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just like the
yeah.
running joke. Krillin gets shit on a lot because he's died a bunch.
But,
But to be
he's
fair,
there.
Goku's died a bunch too.
yeah,
But Krillin's like always there, ready to go, ready to support his friends.
Mhm.
And it kind of sucks because from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, the human characters got really
yeah,
weak.
irrelevant.
yeah.
Irrelevant and just like punching bags. Like Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien in Dragon Ball were badasses. You know, can beat Goku, and like they
At
had
certain
beaten
instances,
Goku. Yeah. Until Goku just becomes, you know, OP, but deservingly so. But yeah,
I think Krillin keeps up in fights, though.
I
With
mean,
the Cell
he-
Juniors, he was kicking
yeah,
ass with
his
those
Cell
Cell
Juniors
Juniors.
actually was surprising. Yeah.
In first form in Perfect Cell, he saves that woman and her daughter. Like he like doesn't beat up Cell, but he's able to like thwart him. Like it's actually a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they cut it out of Kai, but like I don't
I'm not a big
remember.
fan
I
of
didn't
Kai.
like Kai.
Yeah, I wasn't.
What?
I didn't like
I
it.
just-
See,
I-
I'm in the same boat.
yeah.
Like most people I know loved Kai, but
I love Kai.
I really like just going through like the
For me,
original
it was
ways put together.
Gohan's voice. I hated it in Kai.
It didn't bother me.
Hated it. I couldn't do it.
It was the thing with like Kai is like as much I still love the original series. Don't get me wrong, but like there's a lot of episodes where it's like the planet blows up in 2 minutes, and it's not like in Star Wars: The Force Awakens where it just blows up in 2 minutes. It's like 5 minutes. It's like 2 episodes is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
again, I love the original series. I've seen every episode more than at least 3 times.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
but
sure.
for me, like Kai is like it just moves.
Yeah, if you want to get to the action and stuff, no filler,
Yeah.
and, like, you know, all
That
that
and
stuff.
they
Kai's definitely
cut
for
out the powering up for 3 episodes.
I like
just
it.
straight out.
Yeah.
I do like it though. It's funny, but
something about the original, I don't know, it takes me back. So
Right.
watching
It's
that,
nostalgic.
it's like, oh,
Yeah.
my
But
childhood.
if someone's never seen Dragon Ball Z, I would recommend them Kai instead.
Oh,
yeah, probably,
for sure.
Especially in the age now where everyone binge watches television
You know,
shows.
see Goku traveling on Snake Way for 15
yeah.
episodes. You know,
I hated that as a kid. The Snake Way thing.
oh,
man.
dude, it was
Dude,
terrible.
well, the best
it did
People
lead
are
to some
dying,
funny
Goku.
moments though.
the best part of Snake Way is where like those like women take care of him, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Want to play Russian roulette?" And she just like kills herself. Like,
Yeah, it was like, what the hell
Yeah,
is
you're like,
going
what the
on
fuck?
here?
but the best filler of all time is the one where Goku and
Yeah.
Piccolo learn to drive.
Oh,
That's
yes.
great. I will take that any day.
That was a
That
good
is
one.
one of the better
That's one of the best episodes.
episodes.
Yeah, it's
one of the
really
best filler
good,
episodes
man.
I've ever seen. And my favorite line from that is when Goku asks Piccolo where he got those clothes, and he goes, "Your wife."
Yeah.
Like it's like he's not making a joke about. He's not really making a joke, but it came off like like insinuating he like fucked his wife or
Yeah.
something. I don't know, just
Yeah,
the,
right, yeah.
the delivery on it was just great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like it was just so like dead honest. Like,
Yeah, that. I guess my favorite character would be Trunks, just from the first impression you get from him.
Which Trunks?
Which
Future
Trunks?
Trunks?
Future Trunks.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely much.
I
much
just
better.
remember as a kid, like that was kind of like the secret character,
Mhm.
and when you first get to see him like released, I don't know, you just get all amped up. You're like, whoa, that guy's got a sword. He's like the strongest one you know about at the time. And then, what movie is it? Cooler. When he just like destroys Frieza in a second, or Frieza.
No,
comes
that's actually
back
part of the series.
that's part of the
That's
series.
part of the series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
he chops
to-
Frieza up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
real quick, like last thing you know, it took forever to beat Frieza. It was this huge battle, and then Trunks comes out of nowhere
Yeah, he
and
did
just
it in, like,
boom
2
in a
seconds.
second,
Yeah.
and then you're like, whoa, who is that guy? And then the movie where the Goku dies of the viral heart disease, and Trunks has to go back in time, and like where Trunks actually comes from, it's just such a heartfelt movie.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
When Gohan dies.
Yeah, that was one of
really
that's
good.
one of my
Yeah,
favorite
History of
things.
Trunks.
Yeah,
That-
that's like my favorite thing about Dragon Ball Z is that movie, and then just Trunks' essence right there.
Yeah, Future Trunks definitely blew me away. That first time I saw him, I was like amazed by it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the way he just chopped Frieza up like he was a fucking sushi chef or something,
Like nothing.
and then destroyed Frieza's dad. Like, he was like and
It
just
was
the fact
sick.
that he was using a sword kind
Yeah.
of was cool as hell. He's like,
Yeah.
he's got these
You
same
never see
powers,
that.
but he's still using a sword.
Exactly. You never see that. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, and so, I mean, this is probably going to sound so cliche, but my favorite character is Goku. I think with as much as he has to deal with, as far as, like, taking characters down, he always just tries to test his limits. It's not like he's trying to just defeat somebody. It's almost like he's training every time. And he is, like, the underdog, really. Vegeta was, like, way more powerful than he was when he showed up. But Goku just puts in the time and the effort to do that. And he's very lighthearted. And I think, like, everything that I believe in, like being humble and, like, not getting too ahead of yourself and cocky and just putting in the time and work to achieve a level of greatness. I don't know. I just really dig that character a lot.
Yeah.
And again, Krillin and Yajirobe.
Oh,
dude,
Yajirobe's
Yajirobe.
great.
You can't not like that.
Yajirobe's the
He's
best.
a great character.
Dude, Yajirobe's like heaven. Like,
No, don't
I
insult
know, I like
Yajirobe.
Yajirobe.
Don't insult Yajirobe.
Technically saves the day.
Yeah,
does.
in the
First,
Saiyan saga.
yeah. So he's
And,
not
yeah.
heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Evan's
Not a
never
piece of
saved
shit.
anything, dude.
But yeah, like Goku, the lighthearted point, even in the most like dire situations, like in all of his battles against like Frieza, Cell, Boo, he was still having fun. Even though like the future of the planet, was on the line or the universe or whatever, still having fun. Goku is an amazing character, without a doubt. I'd say my favorite's probably Piccolo.
Yeah, he used to be
right
great,
from the
too.
get-go, because he is such a great douchebag. Yet, he acts like the toughest person around, and for a while he was crazy tough. And, he still gets
I think he's still
tougher,
holds up.
but he can also hold his own against like Cell and Frieza and everything. But just the fact that Goku abandons his kid, and Piccolo is more of a dad to Gohan than Goku ever was, and the way he interacts with Kami, it was great. I think I don't know. I just like the way that his destiny was to carry on King Piccolo's work and kill Goku, destroy the world or whatever. And he flips that around and realizes that's not what I want to do. I want to protect it. Even though he has technically part of Kami, who is the guardian of the Earth or whatever, still goes against it. But I don't know.
Well, that
Piccolo just does something.
That has a lot to do with Goku too, with a lot of his enemies that he's turned into friends. Just being around him and stuff like Tien wasn't really his friend when they first met.
No, Tien was a huge.
Tien wanted to be a killer.
Yeah,
he even says he's like, I'm a killer. He's like, I don't care. I'll be better than what is it, General Tao?
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'll be better than him. And General Tao was like the most feared assassin and this up to that point. Yeah, and then it's I don't know if I think with Goku, his determination is what gets the bad guys to interested in him, and then it's the humbleness and the lightheartedness that changes them.
Yeah,
because right away that's what the bad guys want to take advantage over. But then here's a guy who's insanely powerful, and then yet he is humble and nice and doesn't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
He only hurts if he has to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he didn't want to kill Frieza.
No,
he gave him energy
to
survive.
And then Frieza blew it and ended up killing himself. Almost.
He never learns. Captain Ginyu did that to him 3 days before that happened.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or if it's it's Namek, so it's probably an hour.
Yeah, he's so kind-hearted to a fault, almost.
Yeah.
It should have gotten him
killed.
Well,
in Revival of F, it should have, everything that he did should have made, that was the end of the Earth. If it wasn't for Whis bringing it back, that was it.
Yeah.
They all would have died.
That was a great movie.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot. Battle of Gods.
Resurrection F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battle of Gods was okay. You didn't like that?
Dude, Goku gets shot by a bullet.
All right.
Off guard.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay, but here's the thing.
It's a great movie.
Goku's power level is in the billions at that point. Raditz's power level was 1,000 in the Star Dragon Ball Z, and he catches the bullet.
Well, it wasn't a bullet. It was a death beam that came from his ring. It wasn't a bullet.
Yeah, it's not like a man-made bullet.
It wasn't a bullet.
Because in the beginning of Dragon Ball, when Bulma first meets Goku, she shoots him and the bullets bounce off him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but it's completely different. Kevin has it right. It's not a bullet that I would shoot at him.
But it's still kind of
yeah. It's like an energy.
It didn't ruin the movie for me. It was.
I would hope not.
No, it's good. And then Gohan is
oh, don't it? That.
Yeah.
Such a waste of a character, man. I loved him too.
I used to. Got to a point where I was just all right, he just wasn't enjoyable anymore.
No.
He was so promised. I felt like he was so promised and so worked up and talked up, and then it just
Yeah, they're he has all this secret hidden power, and then it just stopped.
Yeah. It looks like he kind of reminds me of when you watch Resurrection F. It kind of reminds me of Christian Bale in The Fighter. They say he was this great fighter, he was amazing, and then he looks like this skinny guy, and that's how I felt. I was why is Gohan super skinny like that? When literally if you talk about chronologically, maybe 6 months ago they fought Boo before that, or a year, dude. Gohan was ripped. You don't lose that muscle mass that quick a time without getting fat.
That's true. You got a point.
Yeah, but the entire Dragon Ball Z saga.
It's also a cartoon.
They set him up. They're he's going to be the most powerful thing. He has more power than Goku.
Yeah, that was because Akira Toriyama wanted to end everything.
Yeah.
At the Cell Saga.
Yeah.
So everything was supposed to carry on with Gohan.
Where he shines. Yeah.
The producers and everything were no, you need to keep this going a little more.
Yeah.
And that's why he. Yeah, exactly. Make him guap. So.
It's kind of hard to keep the show going without Goku.
Yeah, so.
He's the main draw, really.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I'd watch a show without Goku.
No, I would too. But I mean, for
the
general audience they're going for, they want Goku. Yeah, I liked Resurrection F a lot. I think it was much better than Battle of the Gods.
Way better. Yeah,
I like the Super Saiyan God better in Resurrection F. I feel like it was so stupid in Battle of the Gods, in my opinion. Especially the look of it.
No, Resurrection. We saw that.
Oh, Resurrection F.
Yeah, just the look of it. It looked like he was just in Kaioken.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but with the solid blue hair that looked almost diamond-ish.
And it's not the aura, the regular aura. It's almost like a flame that comes off.
Yeah.
It's not like the aura, the regular aura that they have.
Well, I saw a meme that kind of made sense, which is weird. It's almost like an oxymoron. A meme that makes sense. It looked like a burner, whereas the gold part is
Oh
on
yeah,
the bottom.
they're like the thing of like a fire.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, like the gold part's on the top of a fire, and that's the least intense heat,
Yeah.
and then the red is in the middle, and the blue diamond like color, the blue one is on the bottom, which is the most intense part of the heat, and that's like the transformation of Goku. Like, for
Which
Super
makes me
Saiyan.
think like the ultimate form, like when they finally reach that pinnacle, is going to be white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like
If that's like the theory that we're going to follow, like, I feel
Is
like
he a god yet in the Super?
no, he's able to tap into that key,
Mhm.
and it's like it's weird. Like you're not, because when Whis is training Vegeta and Goku, which happens in Super, they show a lot of that, which is actually really interesting. Those are really cool parts. They're not supposed to release their ki when they're battling, so you're supposed to keep it like suppressed, and you're supposed to act more with your mind. So it becomes more of just like a natural reaction. You're fighting, and that's when like I guess you like when you master that fully. I guess that's when you become like a god, because like Whis and Beerus haven't mastered that. You know, because like to where you can do it like 100%, like no
Oh,
problem.
so they don't even have a master
No.
yet? Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy.
So it's pretty wild, but no, they're not gods yet. And I feel like gods is a very loose term that they use, because they're not deities. And in Battle of Gods, they talk about how you can take over as god of destruction if you want.
It's
if
more
you
like
can
a title.
Yeah, it's just
Not-
more like a
not like
title,
an
not
actual
necessarily
being.
like
kind of like Greek gods and Roman gods, whereas like they are gods technically, but like hey, you want to be the god of like messaging? Sure. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no one talks about Hermes' power, but he was a god, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
Oh, he was really fast or something.
he's a
Yeah, Hermes was
messenger.
fast.
Yeah, he was a messenger. He had the wings on his ankles.
But yeah, we wanted to talk about one topic particular in Dragon Ball Z, which
dude,
is...
this drives me and Kevin crazy. So pretty much Kevin brought it up to me one day. He was talking about it, and he's like, "I wonder if that's like Captain Ginyu's original body."
Oh,
Since he
Oh,
can
that's a
body
good point.
change, so
He
like,
can
is that
jump
his original
bodies.
body? If he's been going through battles like all throughout space with Frieza and like taking over planets, I'm sure he's come across a body that was stronger than his.
yeah.
That's
Is
a
that
good
his
point,
real
actually.
body?
That's
You
a
know?
really good point, because they never even like.
'Cause he
mentioned
would've
that.
kept
They never
Goku's.
touched on it. Yeah.
He would have kept
and he's
Goku's.
stuck in the frog at the end of it, so it's not
Yeah.
like he can revert back into that purple body anymore. So
That was kind of my understanding in the past, is because when Captain Ginyu absorbs Goku's or transports his body into Goku's body, or his consciousness, his consciousness into Goku's body, but then like he starts getting weaker because he can't handle the body. To me, that's like, well, maybe after a while when he takes over his body, his normal form takes out, like he starts to transform into that. But then that also kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, because then why isn't the frog Captain Ginyu?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and not even that too. Like even with like Resurrection of F, Frieza was Frieza, but he couldn't handle that form because he didn't train enough to handle that form. So like,
Golden
if,
Frieza was pretty sweet though.
I couldn't believe, like, dude, 3 months supposedly was how long Frieza trained, and it would automatically from like skipped all the way over like Cell, Boo, and like up to Super Saiyan God, where it took like Goku how long to do that?
Years.
Like, years to do that.
Which even in like years is still kind of like improbable.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, like, but yeah. So I think if Ginyu was able to train in that body for a while and get used to it, I'm pretty sure you could tap into that latent potential. But yeah, as far as like if that's his original body, that was just a question that boggles my mind.
Yeah, it's
that
And you can't answer
not
it.
something I actually thought of.
I even
before.
tried looking it up online, like the night after he brought it up to me, and I couldn't find anything on it.
Does
so, like,
anyone else think that?
I don't
No one
even
else
know.
even-
I don't know. It's just
Like-
like I was just thinking one day, you know.
he just brought it up, and like,
well. Here's another thing too, was like maybe that is the original Captain Ginyu body, but it's not Captain Ginyu. Like, what if the Captain Ginyu we know was like a low-level soldier in the Ginyu Force, almost like a Jace or something like that, or
Like
a
a
Bert,
Goldo.
or yeah, exactly.
guy.
And then he's like, oh, like that's the leader of the Ginyu Force or whatever force it is at the time, and then took over that body, and that's how he.
Oh wow, yeah.
And he's just
Didn't
been
even
playing
think about it.
like Captain
As
Ginyu the whole
Captain
entire
Ginyu.
time.
Oh, there you go.
Sure.
Very rad. So it's not
Just
Captain
thought of that.
Ginyu himself that can
Yeah.
do it. It's just some guy going around doing it. And now
Right.
he's playing the role as Captain Ginyu. Pretty badass.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
like that movie, The Stepfather, where the guy is like just marries like women and then like kills the family, but he's like a new alias every time.
I did not see that movie.
Oh, dude, it's fucked up, and it's
It's not that good.
No, it's not.
what, you seen it?
Yeah,
The old one or the new one?
both.
Well, the
just
new
have
one
to watch
sucks.
it.
The new one sucks.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, who here saga, like favorite saga is not Cell Saga. Is that pretty much everyone's favorite?
Yeah.
In Dragon Ball Z, that's my favorite saga. But
Yeah.
I mean, I know Pat feels the same way. I think Dragon Ball is better than Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
Oh, without a doubt.
Right? Yeah, I think so. And
There's so
because
much depth to the story.
yeah, the story is better, but obviously the fighting in Dragon Ball Z is better, especially because now everyone has powers. It makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
And Goku's actually like has a greater challenge, while going from like the lowest level of Saiyan to Super Saiyan God. But I think the story in Dragon Ball is better.
For sure, and if
There's a
I mean,
lot of
like, if you
conflict
really
in it.
want like a good laugh,
Yeah.
you can watch Dragon Ball and really
Yeah.
like laugh your ass
Yeah.
off because that shit.
Oh, I
Because
loved
that's
when
he's
he
dealing
was.
with the monkey and everything, like him not trying to transform and stuff.
Yeah, that was a whole cool aspect of
there's
the
a lot of
Saiyans
cool
that they just
conflicts
cut
in it.
out.
Well, I loved when he's fighting Chi-Chi in the thing, and like he finds out that, like, I just thought that was so funny in the tournament when he's fighting Chi-Chi.
Oh, he
Yeah.
didn't know it was Chi-Chi, and then she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's me," and
Yeah.
then they just go get married.
Yeah,
Right there.
right there.
I
He's
don't
like,
even
all
think
right.
he really knew what was going on
Well,
because, like, in the picture, like he's just kind of like looking somewhere else.
He's
like,
hungry.
not
He
even-
says he's hungry or something like that.
Well, what happened before that was like when she's like, "You promised to marry me," and Goku thought marriage was a food.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So when like he's like when she comes back, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a food when you brought it up." Like,
And he's still cool with it.
yeah,
He's
he's
like,
"Let's get
whatever.
married."
Well, he's
you know?
never around anyway. It's not like he's really married.
True.
Yeah,
He just
exactly.
has a kid. He comes home, does his
Chi-Chi's
thing.
definitely got like a side bitch. I
You think so?
Dude,
Might be Vegeta.
Dude, Chi-Chi definitely got pregnant right away on that honeymoon because she's like, "Wow, he just married me on a whim. Like, I gotta get him locked in."
Yeah, right. Dude.
Yeah.
He has no money,
Yeah.
and I'm the daughter of a king. But yeah, let's lock this dude in.
Well, he did get
That's
money
so
from the
funny.
tournament.
That's true, but still, like
Well, he's
the
spending
Ox
it on
King had.
food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably all on the first day it probably goes to food.
It's
He's
great.
like a monster.
And like the Dragon Ball series, my favorite thing was the whole Red Ribbon Army.
Oh, that was
I,
great.
I thought the Red Ribbon Army was awesome. That entire saga.
I like
And
that they brought that into Z too with Dr. Giro.
That was
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
so
that was
cool.
great.
Like that was such a big underlying story throughout all of like any Dragon Ball series.
Yeah.
You know? It's just cool. That
That's why I think the Cell Saga is the best saga in Dragon Ball Z because that's when they brought back a big story element. It wasn't just who's more powerful.
right.
Even though, like with Frieza, like there was a lot building up, but like you didn't know who Frieza was until they like got to Namek. Even though Frieza is kind of the reason why Goku is who he is, if you really think about it. Like Cell, like when comedians write jokes, they try to do callbacks as far as like calling back to a previous joke that they had. Like with the Cell Saga, it was a callback to a previous storyline. And
Yeah,
like
you're right.
it showed like I think that kind of solidified like how great of a storyteller Akira Toriyama is.
That's where he wanted to end it, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's a good
Where
time
everything's
for
full
him to
circle.
bring that
Yeah,
back
yeah.
right there.
finally like
So-
definitely like took out the last of the Red Ribbon Army, all that stuff. Like that would be
That
really sweet.
and it ended up with a really sweet Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
Game was fucking sweet.
Legacy of Goku? Or-
No. It's just like Dragon Ball something. I know that game. That one's okay.
That's what I was thinking of. I thought it was Legacy of Goku too. Which
No, because it takes place fully in Dragon Ball, the Red Ribbon Saga.
Wow,
that's
no,
Legacy of
yeah.
Goku.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
No, 'cause
No,
the
Legacy
first
of
one
Goku
takes
starts out
place
in
during
Z.
Seiya Saga, right?
Yeah.
Saiyan Saga there for sure.
Legacy of Goku.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It starts out it's all Z. Legacy of Goku 1 and 2.
And then
Oh.
you go to the Namek, and then it ends. And then I think the second one takes place.
No, second one you're like in the Buu Saga and stuff. Like
Oh,
I
really?
was fighting
Yeah.
like Janemba and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
forget
the se-
exactly
the,
what.
the second one ends. I think with Cell. I'm pretty sure they end with Cell with that one.
I don't know. To be honest, dude, like all I remember from that game is like spending like 10 hours trying to kill Vegeta in that
Yeah.
first battle, dude. He was so hard.
Yeah, but that Dragon Ball Advance game, whatever the full title of it was sweet. Actually, going through the Red Ribbon Army. Speaking of Dragon Ball games, either you play the fuck is the newest one? That came out?
Xenoverse?
Xenoverse.
Oh my
We were really
God,
big
yeah,
into it. Like
dude.
it got to the point where like
Undefeated.
what was it like? we had that game for like a month,
I think
and
yeah,
we maxed out like 3 different like
Wow.
you know like
Dude, it's just
different
such like a
characters on there.
beautiful fighting game. Like I like
It
games where
really
you can
is.
really like
Yeah.
just like freestyle fight. Like I hate games where it's like, oh, I know that combo, so if I get that combo off, you're dead. Like
We
in
actually
that
had a
game, it's
pretty
like
sweet
very
team, too.
situational.
Like when
Yeah.
we were doing like the team fights and stuff.
Oh,
What was
yeah.
our ratio?
We
were
were,
playing?
I think we had like 80 wins. It was like disgusting,
ridiculous.
dude. It was
It was
disgusting.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a great game. The mechanics on it were awesome. It's one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z
Without a doubt,
related
yeah.
games.
And it wasn't like you're going through the story again for
Mhm.
story mode. Like it's like I know this story. I don't want to play this
But
to get all
But
the
they
characters.
put a good spin on it. I think.
Exactly. Like you were going back and
Introduced some
helping
like
them and
pretty
stuff
cool
like that.
characters.
Yeah, for sure. But just like
And the customization on it was awesome.
Yeah, I wish there was a
think.
little bit more, definitely, because like I hated how you couldn't like change the colors of some of the suits. Like that
Yeah.
was a pain, but I don't know. It's just like little stuff. I'm sure they'll change it if they make like another one.
They probably will. I think it did pretty well, like commercially. But like the fact that you could have a Saiyan with like some of Piccolo's powers, some of Boo's powers, was awesome. That and you could pick the races. I think was cool.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
was it? It was Namekian, human, Saiyan, and
Android,
Frieza's race, I think.
Frieza,
Yeah,
and
and
then
the
the Boo.
Why
Oh,
would
they
you
did have
pick human?
androids?
no, wait, did they have androids?
I'm trying to
No,
remember.
Earthling, Saiyan.
I thought it was only 4. I can't.
Oh, maybe yeah, maybe it was
I'm
just.
pretty
I
sure.
think this one
Namekian.
was-
Did each race
Boo.
have different like stat
And Frieza.
bonuses?
Yeah,
and attributes
they all
and
had
stuff?
different
Oh,
stat
there was one.
bonuses, and then if you were male versus female,
Oh,
it
that's
had
cool.
different things, and then like depending on how short or tall you made yourself, like
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, it was pretty cool the way
Yeah,
they
that sounds sweet.
balanced it out with those. But like I think I did Saiyan a lot just because you could be Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
So
because it's like
easy,
yeah,
dude.
it's like,
you can just
why
spam
not?
your ultimate the whole
But
entire time.
especially
my-
the quick ones. You can
yeah,
get like 2 off.
my other favorite one though was the Frieza race because I think
Yeah.
like their upgrades were some of the sickest.
They're fast too.
Yeah,
they're like
They're fast, and then their regular key shot can pause your opponent.
Yeah, I
Oh,
always
yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
something like that.
Dude, I just love the Milky Cannon move with a Frieza character because like
Yeah.
you just have that out there. It does like half, like it takes like a big chunk of your like the opponent's health down, and then you can just keep going with whatever you want because they're so
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, there's some definitely like ways to cheese people in that game.
Oh
Like, that
yeah.
kind of sucks, but I don't know. It's one of those games you need to adapt.
Well, you were
Yeah.
like this kid.
Yeah, I was really. cheap.
He put all his points towards like the ultimate attack, and he
Yeah.
just kept trying to spam me with that. But I was like always a close like melee fighter, so he couldn't touch me the whole
Yeah.
time. He'd have to like knock me down.
Until I found out gravity impact, and then I could just shoot you in
and
the
still
Yeah.
only beat me just.
My
with it.
favorite spirit though was the one when you defeat the enemy, and then like your key goes all the way up, so you can go right to Super Saiyan and use your final attacks, and then you just spam like the mega attack, and then it just keeps getting refilled, so you
Oh,
never lose the
wow.
Super Saiyan
I don't
form.
think I ever had.
Wait, what is that?
I forget the name of it, but it's one of like the spirits that you can choose, like where like something happens in the battle and then a bonus comes. Yeah, it was just awesome, especially like later on in the game. It
I know
came
the
in such
Broly
good
ones
handy.
were really good. The ones that you had to like
Yeah.
mix for.
They were
I think
hard.
that might have been one of them. Because
Yeah.
I think cause they were just ridiculous to have to get. And the percentage of the drops in that game, they fixed that.
Yeah.
I was playing it
Thank
recently.
God, dude.
Dude, oh my gosh, you'd play that game like one mission for hours trying to
It
get
was
a
so
move.
it was pretty bad.
And half the time you'd like wouldn't even because like
Goku's
sometimes you get the
weak.
moves you need to get the Z thing and then have like the warning come up and another character come in and like sometimes you would even get those guys like
Yeah, and you did it exactly the
Took
way
us,
the
like-
fucking person on YouTube was saying it.
Well,
Yeah,
trying
and
to
you would
get-
never get it.
yeah,
It's the
dude,
most
it's
annoying
terrible.
thing. I did like how all those like playable bonus missions that you can play any character.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Like that was pretty cool. I mixed that up a lot instead of and then just saved. Well, not all the time, but saved my main character mostly for the story.
Oh, okay, yeah, I never did that because I was just so like
Yeah.
I was like Vegeta, man. I was
Yeah.
like just train, get to the next level, get to the
You
next
could
level.
use all your experience on your character.
Really?
that
Like
earned
if
from
you
it.
were
Yeah.
playing as other, I had no idea about that.
Yeah, I had no clue. I know you could like switch the skills between characters. Like if you made another character, you'd have all. I didn't know you could switch experience.
Well, it would just like if I were to do one of those like side missions or whatever
Oh,
it
with
was
like Goku.
with Goku,
Oh.
I would gain those experience and then just use them on my character.
I didn't know
okay.
that.
Yeah, I had no
the whole
clue.
time
Yeah.
I avoided that just because I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna do this mission and not get points for it.
Yeah, man, I had options to play as Goku, Super Saiyan God, Gogeta, Vegito, Broly.
They have them in there,
Yeah.
Gogeta and Vegeta.
Yeah.
I think you guys
Yeah,
are about to pick up
it
this
was-
game back again.
It was I
Wait,
think it was a
when did they get
DLC
that?
though.
Oh, okay. See, I stopped playing right right after the first one came out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I think
GT one.
I'm doing
I think it was
DLC
the
though.
one you needed for it.
yeah. So I stopped. I really wanted to pick those up, but I was just debating on whether $30 was enough, like worth it to drop.
It was. I think. I mean, I had a gift card, so
Oh, well,
that's
yeah.
how I got it. But yeah, no, like it had some really good content. It had more story missions too.
Yeah, I did hear about that, and you could
So
like level up
it was
further.
like cool.
Some
Yeah,
of the masters didn't stick out for me though. Like that was.
it was
like,
pretty annoying for the most part.
Cause like I don't know, like all the DLCs, like I wanted like cool people to train under, and like they gave like what was it? I think Tien, Yamcha, they had.
Yeah,
Pretty
And
much
then-
they died.
Yeah.
and then you could train under Pan. Like,
Yeah,
why
I
would I
didn't-
want to do that?
That was so weird.
Speaking of Pan, what are your guys' feelings on GT?
I didn't like it, but I thought the ending, like the way they brought it to an end, was very well written.
Yeah,
Yeah, the last episode, the last saga I liked.
The Shadow Dragons.
Yeah, that was cool
that
because
really cool.
I actually kind of wish, like, as much as I liked the Boo saga, I like it was way too long. That like the Boo saga was like, dude, for a guy who wanted to end the series with the Cell saga, you would think the last season would be like short. The Boo saga is like literally the Cell saga and the Frieza saga combined. Like it's so many
Saga
episodes.
was like very strange too. Like they threw an Oob. But,
I
like,
hated
Oob
I
really
hated
didn't
the
do
fact that
much,
they made
like,
Oob and Goku's like, yeah, I'm gonna go live with this kid now.
Yeah, I was like,
Like
what?
you can
Like,
instant transmission. Just think of him and you can go there and you can still live at home.
Yes.
That and like he ended up
There's a lot
not
of plot holes in the Dragon
he ended
Ball
up
series.
not being
Oh,
great
yeah.
in GT anyway.
no, yeah, that's
He's
what
kind of a
it's-
waste.
Yeah, he kind of sucks. He
Yeah.
like
Doesn't
uses
he-
a Boo and like
Yeah,
still
that's what
loses.
he's
The biggest thing for GT for me was like Goku going back into a kid.
I hated that.
Because then he couldn't even stay in Super Saiyan 3 for more than fucking 5 minutes. And I was
Yeah,
like,
he had a hard enough time like when he was an adult
holding
maintaining
on to-
that
yeah.
form.
And it just brings up a lot of like I understand in Japan like certain things aren't as taboo, but like which is fine. Like I think we should actually adopt some more of that personality because like we're way too uptight here for certain things. But like, but there is something weird of like a child husband and like a grandma wife like living together.
yeah.
Like I was just like I understand it's like comedic reasons, but it's like still kind of like I don't know. I don't know
I
how
think it
that
was more
works.
annoying than anything. I didn't really find it funny.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
usually tell
'cause it was
people,
just, like, I felt
to
like it just,
avoid
like,
it.
Yeah, I just
Limited
say, like,
what you
skip
could
up
do
to
in the
baby
story.
saga,
Yeah.
really.
If it was like a 10-episode story arc of him being a kid, I think it would have been
Then he
better.
transforms back.
Yeah, like but then he's like just still a kid.
Like the whole time.
I just
Yeah.
wish GT either like instead of Goku would focus on, I wish it went from like Gotenks and like Trunks or something. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I thought it was when it first like
Yeah.
came out. I was like GT, Gotenks and Trunks.
I mean,
like, and then-
yeah, my Goku's my favorite character, but I really would have liked to see Vegeta take the mantle at one point.
Yeah, although when he shows up, the first time you see him, he has a mustache.
Yeah,
That's
that's
And then when he
great, the
became, like,
handlebar.
Yeah,
It's so good.
and then his daughter makes fun of him and he
Yeah,
shaves it
yeah,
off.
and he's just like, whatever.
Baby Vegeta was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although, like, the Baby Saga had its ups and downs.
The story
think it-
behind the Tuffa planet was really cool.
Yeah, I like that, and then I like the Golden Great Ape and how it led to Super Saiyan 4. It's two of the,
yeah,
like,
it's-
good things of GT.
yeah, Super Saiyan 4 transformation is
such
dope.
a badass.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they left it like non-canon, so it's
Super
not.
Saiyan 4?
Yeah.
Well, no, like just like
The
GT
saga.
in general.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. It's like, really, like, there's only, like, 30% of it that's decent.
Mhm.
But yeah, overall it was bad. And, like, I hated how they made Emperor Pilaf the cause of
Yeah.
him becoming a kid. Like, you should have just left that
Like
character
the whole
alone.
issue with like the Black Star Dragon Balls and like them having to go across the universe because of Emperor Pilaf.
Yeah, but
Like
like
for him to be the catalyst of that
I feel
situation.
like they're
was
trying to
so,
go
like,
for that like Dragon Ball twist on it
Yeah.
again, like kind of humorish, but
it just didn't pay off. And another thing too that was confusing and like maybe you guys know, I might have to like rewatch. Well, no, I'm not rewatching it, but maybe like I was like if Kami creates Dragon Balls,
Yeah.
and he dies, those Dragon Balls are gone.
Yeah.
So how are the Black Star Dragon Balls still here?
I don't think he created
He
them.
didn't create them.
They were before him.
Yeah, and it didn't follow the same rules for whatever reason because of the type of Dragon Balls they were. Because that was created by like a council almost. Like
yeah,
a,
I
like
think
a
instead
group
of them
thing.
like shooting around the planet, like they go all over the
Yeah.
universe, right?
Yeah, it wasn't made by one guardian.
Okay.
It was
I-
made by like a collective.
That's one thing I just didn't remember or just was confused about.
I mean, either way, it was terrible. Like I hated the Black Star Dragon Balls. I hated Pan.
Mm.
Hated Jiro.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
there
this
was
Trunks better than Trunks in the Boo Saga.
I hated him more actually.
Yeah, I hate that scarf, dude. That
Yeah.
scarf
It was
drives
pretty
me
lame.
Wild,
Dude,
I'm
he was
just
like, Trunks in GT is if like Fred from Scooby Doo had powers, like just so fucking like
Well, when you put it that way.
yeah,
That's great. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
yeah, Just like, come on, gang. Like, we can do it. Like,
It's pretty much what he was like in GT Wild. Dan.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that whole thing.
And
but
again, Gohan's character was wasted.
again, they made him even worse.
why is he wearing... Dude, I don't get how a half Saiyan, like, ultra powerful, like, being is, like, wearing glasses.
He was going for the Clark Kent, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Why?
Why
Everyone
not?
knows
Why
he's the
not?
great Saiyan, man.
And like no
why
one's gonna
not?
put up a fight or go after
Yeah.
his family.
Like, what is, like, Frieza gonna come back? Is he gonna hit a guy with glasses? Like, gee, dude, it's so stupid.
Oh, the
It's just
hell.
yeah, and
when
then
they,
in that
when they
one
break through hell, that was okay.
That was cool too. Yeah,
I like that.
Piccolo,
That was cool.
Piccolo actually, like, it was almost like he traded souls with Goku. It was like Goku couldn't leave unless Piccolo stayed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was
Piccolo made that
really
sacrifice.
cool. Yeah, he
That's why he's
always
the man.
gets the shitty end of the
That's why he's
stick, man. Because didn't he also? No, yeah, he died on Earth. He stayed with Earth
Yeah.
when like everything blew up. That was bullshit. I was pissed.
Me too. That's why he's the man.
Yeah, he lays down his life all the time. Isn't Piccolo the same age as Gohan technically? So they're more like brothers than anything.
No.
No, he's.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
pretty
I
sure
remember
like
we were
they're like
looking
this close to the same age. That's why they're so
No,
close.
because Piccolo was born when Goku killed King Piccolo, which Goku was still like a kid.
That's what I thought. But like I read somewhere
Yeah,
that they're like
Gohan's,
similar age.
12, and I think like Piccolo's like 15 or 16 or something. But I think it's just because when he got regenerated, he was kind of like reborn in a sense. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that works out.
I think there's got to be, because Gohan is 5 when Dragon Ball Z starts, and I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball Z starts 5 years after the tournament, and then it was 3 years. So Piccolo is probably like 13 years old. When
Piccolo is 4 years older than Gohan.
Okay.
Huh.
Nice.
There we go.
This is
Coming
why
in.
we have the
Yeah,
internet. This is why we have the
yeah,
internet.
there you go.
But,
Breaking news. From
One going back to the games, my favorite Dragon Ball Z video game of all time though is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3.
It is really good.
Dude, that one's a good one. That's,
Dude, I can't even be reminded of that. My cousin erased all my memory off that game. I threw the disc at him. I said, "Fucking keep it."
That's rough.
That is
He's like, "You
awful.
want to play the game so fucking bad? Keep it."
You gave it to him.
It
I
has
threw it at him. I can give
It
it
has
to
the
him.
best
Threw it at him.
opening theme song of all time.
I'm trying to remember what it was. Is that the?
No.
No,
That's
no.
Tenkaichi.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like
those are good games. Oh,
I put so much time into those. All the Budokais. Especially, I wasn't a fan of the second one though, with that whole map thing where you had to like.
That was
Yeah.
annoying.
That was kind of
Yeah,
really
Budokai
stupid.
2. I played 1 and 2, and I was a big fan of 2. Really.
The second one sucked. It was
The
like,
third one totally
I
like
just want
brings
to
it
fight
back.
Boo,
They had so
but
many
I have
characters
to
in
fight
that
this
one.
Yeah.
fucking one and go there with half health. And
Dude, I would play Budokai 3 for hours.
Me too.
Like literally, like if there was like MLG Budokai 3, I probably would have been up there. Like I was like so legit at that game. I had every character, every capsule. And, like, I remember in Budokai 2, there was a cheat where if you hold, like, R1 or L1 or something like that, when you go back from the capsule screen to the main menu, you unlock the capsules to the moves and, like, the abilities for the characters, so you almost don't even need to play the game.
That would have saved me so much time.
Yeah,
That would have
bro,
saved me
yeah.
weeks.
You couldn't, I forget exactly how to do it, but, like, it was almost like having, like, Game Shark without having Game Shark. It was, like, built into the
It was
game.
like an exploitive kit.
Yeah, exactly.
I miss Game Shark.
And, oh, dude, Game Shark, that's how you beat Echo the Dolphin. Like,
I can't even believe you know that game.
Don't
That
you still
game
have
was
it?
sweet.
yeah, I
though.
still have it.
I have
For
it
the
too.
Dreamcast or the Sega?
Sega Genesis.
Okay. Yeah,
I think I
those
have Echo 2, the Ties of Time, which that game is really good.
What a sick title.
Yeah, that is
What a great-
for a
dude,
You know,
dolphin
yeah, I was
game.
gonna say, you know the game. It's
Dude,
all
like
about
that's
dolphins.
definitely like as great and like as imaginative as that game is. Like that game is the result of people just like getting baked. They're like, dude, let's make a game about a dolphin. Like,
Oh, dude, exactly, man. Any game that came out back then was a
Yeah,
result
that
of
game
something
definitely
really
wouldn't be
good.
made today.
No,
Without a
not
doubt.
at all.
Maybe as like a mobile game, but definitely not for like any sort of system.
That was a sweet game, dude.
Oh, so yeah, the death of the PS2, right? That happened recently, finally.
What happened with
oh,
PS2?
they shut down the servers for PS2 finally.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So yeah, if you had any online game for PS2, it's kaputs.
It's about time. I mean, what? It's been like
What?
20 years.
They
It's not
shut
20.
down more Xbox 360 servers than they have PS2 servers.
Well, the
Really?
thing with PS2 is that like when PS3 was like in its like final years, PS2 is still selling in certain countries. Like yeah, like there was like South American countries and some obscure Asian countries. They were still selling PS2 as the primary console.
Yeah, because I remember I would go into Best Buy and it'd be like FIFA would be like the newest year and it'd be on PS2 and I'm like, why are they still making this?
PlayStation 2 was everywhere. Like it's the most successful console. That and Nintendo DS are the most successful consoles of all time.
It's definitely up there.
Really,
It's one of my
the
favorites.
DS is considered one. I didn't know that.
Yeah, DS is around like 3 million behind PS2, which isn't a lot in that factor because PS2 sold like 154 million. I think DS is like 151. And so that's why certain games sometimes that's why DS games are still sold at Best Buys and GameStops because like there's certain countries because it sold so well where like they actually have a DS still.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
The more you know.
Yeah, right? Learned a lot here
Yeah,
today.
that's really
I learned more about myself today. This is nuts.
Let's start a band.
Yeah.
Fuck Poeta.
Yeah.
Started this one. We finally start Aragorn.
Yeah, we'll start
down
Aragorn.
for Aragorn, dude. Totally.
Dude, I was thinking about Aragorn today in the shower, and I was just
While
like,
you're
Wait, the
jerking off.
character
no.
from
well,
Lord of the Rings?
No, we're gonna make a hardcore.
Okay, wait.
Alright,
In
'cause
context,
I was like, what?
in context, that sounds really bad. Me and Dentino have always talked about a band starting called Aragorn, and like it's a hardcore band. And we just pretty much sing about we scream about Lord of the Rings.
So
Like,
metal
Just scream
Led Zeppelin.
Mordor before
Yeah.
every breakdown.
like
Yeah.
it was just like you shall not pass the.
That'd be
Yeah, it's pretty
sick. I would.
So
let's do it.
When I was
Yeah,
thinking, when
let's do
I
it.
said before, I was thinking about Aragorn in the shower, not the character. I was thinking about multiple guys in a band in the shower.
That's even
yeah.
better.
Yeah,
That's even better.
right.
Multiple guys. Yeah.
There we go. That's the way you redeem
Named my
yourself.
fantasy.
Multiple Vulpix. There you
Yeah.
go.
Volpi.
Vulpi.
Vulpi?
All guys.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Poeta's next venture will be Aragorn.
Yeah, that's how it evolves into.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was
we're
the
gonna
introduction
venture
of
into
Poeta
Middle-earth
and
for
the
our
end of
next time.
Poeta, all in this one
Yeah,
podcast.
all within an hour and 12 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah,
So
there
George,
Sorry,
you can
George.
blame Connor for that.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. That'd be sweet. I'll play drums, you play bass, you play guitar, and scream. He'll scream. You sing,
play
you
guitar.
scream.
Can we be like in Slipknot, like the two guys that are just like banging the big drums in the background?
Oh, you're the front man, dude.
I'll
do
be
that.
He's
I'll do
guitar
that.
player.
You be the front.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Isn't there just like a guy in Slipknot that's just like
He just hops around.
Yeah, he just like
He's like the-
just headbanging.
Yeah, there's
He's
a
the hype
guy.
guy.
There's technically a guy in Mighty
Exactly.
Mighty Boss Tones that does the same thing. He kind of just like skanks and dances on stage, and he'll kind of sing in the background.
How do you get that job? I want that job.
You
Dude,
just
it's
be
the
their,
best
their
job.
stoner friend.
It's like at most
good.
rap shows when like the rapper just has that one. Goes, yeah,
That's Flavor
Yeah.
Flav.
yeah. It's
Like-
just
Okay,
alright.
there you go. He's their Flavor Flav.
Yeah, but
Like-
he's the most successful one. I
Yeah,
would say.
I think he wrote most of the music
did.
or something too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he
He's
wrote a
actually
lot.
really smart, apparently. He just doesn't come off that
Are
way.
we really talking about Flavor Flav right now?
Why not?
Anytime is a good time.
We got to increase our demographic.
Yeah.
somehow.
Oh man, that one episode of what was it? Didn't he have like his own reality show?
Yeah,
Flavor
Flavor
of
of
Love.
Love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one
Buck Wild.
chick pooped on his stairs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She
Really?
pooped on
Yeah.
his
I
stairs.
don't remember
He's
that.
like, what the hell? is
Pretty
that?"
early episode too. Yeah.
Dude, that one,
Holy
New York
shit.
was on both seasons. That girl in New York, and
Oh,
then they
is
had
that
a
a
spin-off
psycho?
show. Yeah,
Oh my
she was,
god.
She was a psycho.
dude. That was like that show was great because it was like the anti-reality show. Like so many reality shows try to make you believe it's not scripted. They didn't care at all. Like it's scripted, but these people are crazy anyway. Here you go. Like
Because they'll go along with it.
yeah,
Yeah, I
they're going
remember-
along with it, and they totally play it good. Like,
Yeah, I remember when New York beat the shit out of that blonde girl.
Oh, that was great.
Like, because the girl
She was
spit in her
great.
mouth.
Oh yeah, dude. She
pummeled
Yeah,
her.
that was gross though, dude. I would have done the same thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, girls fight so much worse than guys.
They're
Guys at least
dirtier.
have respect. Like we don't put, if we were to have like a 5-man brawl right here, none of us would hit each other in the balls, at least on purpose.
Well, that's just understood.
Dude,
But,
that's
do
like
girls
if you're
pull
like
hair, they
dying.
punch each other in the boobs.
Yeah.
That's
If
like
you're
your
dying.
Martha move.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
You know?
Guy's got a kryptonite gun on you.
Yeah.
You kick him in the balls. That's the only time
Martha.
it's acceptable. All right. So on that note, I guess.
Yeah, right. That's
Unless you have any more like shit like that to talk about.
No, thank you so much for having
Yeah,
us on.
thank you
really.
very
No,
much.
guys,
man.
thanks
It's
for
been
coming
a great
on.
time. Good time.
Yeah, you guys are welcome back anytime. Yeah,
I'll
I'm so
hope to
down
do this
for that.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was fun.
because I'm almost done with Attack on Titan.
Oh,
Yes.
that's our
Yes,
next
dude.
one,
Yeah,
dude.
so
Yes.
when I do finish that, I want to talk about that with you guys next.
Great.
That was our
What did you
first.
think of the live action movie? Did you see it?
I didn't see it yet.
You saw
I
the
saw
whole
clips
movie?
of it.
I didn't see the whole thing.
Like,
I've heard mixed things.
I heard it's really bad.
it's
Really?
really bad.
It
Like,
looked
think about
sick,
the
though.
old, like, 1990 Godzilla movies.
The Matthew Broderick one.
No, the Japanese one.
That
That
was
one's
bad.
terrible.
That was
I'm talking
Okay.
about, like, as far as, like, Godzilla in a costume with small towns.
I
Yeah.
fucking love those
Like,
movies.
They're great movies, don't get me wrong, but for today, and that's how you're going to produce that movie and direct it
Right.
and act in
Yeah.
it, doesn't work for me. It was just very cheesy
Mhm.
in that sense.
Like,
Okay.
okay.
and they
Was there a better budget behind it than what was showed? Pretty much.
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't even look into that, like, as far as, like, what their budget was for it, but I would assume it would have been pretty big, considering how the show took off and how well the manga's doing.
Yeah.
So I would have assumed that because I think that could be an awesome movie, but I just don't think they nailed it. They changed some of the characters, and Levi's not in there either.
That
Oh, really?
seeing whose favorite character is not Levi. You know, that guy's epic.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
So
I don't know.
I like
think
every
some
character. Every
movies should
character
just,
has, like-
not
Not be
everything
made.
needs to be live action. Like,
Yeah.
so-
I kill- that
but
kills
that's
it for me
something
a
that
lot,
they
though.
could definitely do live action and make it sweet, but they just didn't do it.
Sometimes I prefer cartoons and animation because you could just do so much.
You could literally do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's almost like DBZ. If
Yeah.
we're gonna go,
Yeah.
you know, like
If they
you
made-
can't do live action.
Driving.
I'm
Ball.
glad they never
What was
made a
it?
live action Dragon Ball.
They did.
No,
Evolution.
I'm glad.
They did make a live action Dragon Ball Z movie. It was called Man of Steel.
Yeah, dude, right?
Well,
Yeah.
the first half of Man of Steel. That was it.
Oh man.
Dude,
An
Evolution
Attack
was
on
the
Titan.
biggest waste of money. Like, I've never like walked out of like a movie theater visibly
Well,
like.
you know
But
what?
you know what's
I
so
didn't
weird is
expect
a lot of those
anything.
actors in the Dragon Ball Evolution movie are on Shameless.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, a couple of main characters.
yeah. It's like two of the main characters are literally in the first 3 seasons of Shameless. The girl who played Bulma is the main character, and the guy that plays Goku was on like the first 2 seasons or 3
Maybe
seasons,
they'll
something
do
like
a
that.
tie-in.
In an alternate reality, it's like an Earth 2 Shameless. That's what it is.
Like, imagine they're on the set of Shameless. We're like, wow, like we hope this doesn't turn out like the Dragon Ball movie. Now it's like the most successful
I
Showtime
walked in
show.
there not expecting anything from it, and I came out and I was like, you know what?
Dude,
I'll take it for what it is.
I was
'Cause I knew
so
it wasn't gonna be
upset when
anything
he went
special.
grade ape and he was like 7 foot tall. I was like, what? Is
Not
this?
even. He like gained probably 2 inches.
And that
Not
CG
even
was
that,
really
but
bad.
he wasn't even a great ape. He was a completely like
Yeah,
different
just-
thing.
Just a very strange movie.
Piccolo was weird as hell too.
I thought
Yeah.
He didn't have his
shit.
antennas.
It
He
was
was
the one guy
weird,
from
dude.
Buffy, right? The
Oh yeah,
The
yeah. I know
blonde
what you're
guy,
talking
can't
about.
Yeah, he looked exactly like a
Oh,
vampire from
uh,
Buffy too. Like
Steve
they didn't
Buscemi.
Steve
Yeah, Steve Buscemi.
Steve-
Yeah.
That whole entire thing was just an abomination. Really.
Yeah.
An Attack on Titan animated movie would be epic, though.
Yeah,
They're
Is-
doing
is-
that. They're doing that though.
Is the manga
Yeah.
still going on?
That's when it's gonna.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, yeah.
This,
So-
this
'cause the
second
series-
season comes out. It's like this month, or
No, they
Oh,
they
April?
backed it up again
Oh.
because
So
they
there's
were
only
talking.
one season.
Yeah.
so far. But
Because
it's like
I'm
25
like watching it. I'm like,
episodes.
why? I'm kind of confused because I was like, because I'll walk into like a Barnes and Noble. I'm like, oh, like it's a new Attack on Titan stuff. I'm like,
But I think in Japan it was like 2 seasons, though, right?
No.
Or 1 season?
Nope.
Because
No,
isn't it cut in half?
They
Like,
kind of
if
messed
you
it up
check-
because they like started making the show when they weren't like progressed enough with like the manga. So like now it's like, all right, well now we're gonna have to wait. Till
I thought our season 1, though, like our American season 1, is like cut in half somehow. It just
think
maybe
so.
they only premiered at different times. I don't remember.
I mean,
don't-
they definitely got it earlier before us.
No, I
but-
mean like in America. I don't think we got the whole
Like how they
thing
did
at
it like a
once.
split season.
Yeah, I think
Like,
I thought
season- Whatever.
No,
A,
but they didn't
that was a
whatever B.
ridiculous seat.
They
for a
didn't.
season,
It's almost
50
like a
episodes.
mid-season finale
Right.
kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, but
yeah.
yeah, they pushed it because they're only like 3 cycles, like the way they explained it, which was weird. They were like 3 cycles ahead
Third
of
trimester.
what where the show's at, and they want to be ideally 6.
Mhm.
And to think of how long they put it off already, and they're only 3 ahead, we're gonna have to wait that same amount of time for another 3. So that's like another year and a half, 2 years before they even start doing that.
I feel like another.
They gotta do
Year,
something
we'll
because
get
the
it.
thing that's so big with that is they don't want to do any filler episodes. So
Yeah.
all of that is straight.
I respect
manga
that.
concept.
no, I like that
Yeah.
because like I'm not a huge Naruto fan. I tried getting into it, but like what really killed the show for me was the fillers. I like stopped watching.
There's so
I
much
was
filler.
just never able to get into it.
What was the
tough
one
for me.
anime that had like crazy, like ridiculous fit? Like literally,
One
it's
Piece is another one.
it's like
Yeah,
an older
that's
anime that was
awful.
on like Toonami. No, not that one.
That's-
Ryano Kenshin or
that's-
something like
That
that.
is
or
the
Ryu
best
Kenshin.
anime, dude.
It's like like the main character had like red hair.
Oh yeah,
so-
Rurouni Kenshin. He had the
That's it.
reverse blade sword.
Yeah, that dude. The filler episodes on that show are ridiculous.
That's why I love
man.
Cowboy Bebop, man. Cowboy Bebop.
It's got a
is
great
so
theme
good.
song too.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to watch that.
it's so good.
It's really
wanna
good.
watch that.
Cowboy Bebop. Like I'm not a huge like anime guy. I appreciate it. I like it. And like when something's really good, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get into
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Cowboy Bebop is like one of those shows.
Death Note's good. I like that.
I gotta pick that up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
It doesn't.
Go
I
home
don't know. I
tonight,
feel like it
watch
didn't
that show.
really get good till like the middle, and then like at one point, once I don't want to like spoil alert.
Don't
anybody,
spoil it.
Don't do it. Not for everybody.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It started getting like to the point where it's like, all right, like how did you get out of that? Like that makes no sense.
They wrote
But,
themselves into a corner.
Yeah. So
That's a
it's like-
shame because
Did
sometimes
they?
you really start out with like a really
No, no,
great
I-
concept. And
Like,
You
yeah,
didn't watch
put
it?
in what it, no,
And
I've never seen it
definitely
before.
writes himself in a corner.
I'm gonna watch it.
it just writes in the middle.
I'm
Damn,
in a corner.
now.
That's epic.
This was a lot of fun.
So,
This was a great time. Yeah.
it
Anyway.
was.
Is this our second goodbye now? Or are we still?
We're
Now we're actually going to say goodbye next
Okay.
time. We're not going to go
We're
back
gonna do
into
4.
anime.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
This
4.
happens all the time. We'll be like, all right, and we're like, oh yeah. So anyway, like
Yeah,
Well, if you say goodbye more than once, they say you really don't want to leave.
exactly.
true. It is a good time. That's
This is
why.
a good time. It's a great time.
So you want to like plug all your links, your handles and shit for like Twitter, Instagram, and all that?
Yeah, it's Poeta US, right, for everything, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's just
yeah,
Poeta with you
Poeta
at
US.
Poeta US for
Your MySpace, too.
Instagram, Twitter. Our MySpace is actually getting sued right now, so don't worry about our MySpace. But yeah, Sean put some photos up there he shouldn't have. But
What can I say?
but then yeah, we're on there. Our website is poeta.us, and you can get our new single on there for free. And our album should be out within the next 2 months, we're hoping. So
Awesome. What about like your personal?
Yeah.
Instagram?
What are your personal Twitter handles and everything? Shoot it out. Let people know who you are.
Anthony.Dentino, Instagram.
Campfire Kevin.
I'm usually just SDubs94 with a Z.
Usually.
Usually. Just
Yeah.
type that in, you should be able to find me.
And George is I think he's at
Lucid Geo. Or
Lucid
something?
Geo. Yeah, he's really cool. So.
He's a strange guy.
Not GeoCities.
No, not Geocities.
Geo-
Not Geo Dude.
GeoCities.
No.
Not Geo Dude.
Geodude would be a good one.
Maybe he's Geodude, I don't know. But cool. Thank you guys so
Awesome.
much again.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Great time. So.
Yeah, and again, I'm at Rick Pat Mick on Twitter, PatMCN _ on Instagram.
And I'm at Less Than Connor.
Same thing.
Dude, that girl I DM'd on the road trip just DM'd me back. I'm at Less Than Connor on Twitter.
And you follow us at Awesome Sun Show.
Yeah. Whoops. So, yeah. And,
Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Just make you believe.